Okay, make we move on. Now, the GFA this week, they make some very interesting announcement. They say, since they demote Ashgold and Inter Allies to Division 2, next season, 2 holes candidate the Premier League inside and Division 1 inside. They fulfill them 2 holes. Now, the first hole be Ashgold, them are placed out of the Premier League. They say 1 team from Division 1 for replace them. But already, 3 teams from Division 1 qualify already. But they for find new team take replace them. So the GFA say, okay, between Tamale Cities, Liberty, then what be the other team?
Dwarfs.
Then Dwarfs. Between these 3 teams, them all chop second for the respective zones inside. Tamale FC Zone 1, Dwarfs Zone 2, Liberty Zone 3. So they go place on all play or like league format.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the team will go get the most points. It begin go can replace Ashgold for the league inside. So I'm going to say, but how that one they work? See, 3 teams get relegated from the Ghana Premier League. They relegate 3 teams already. Where they demote Ashgold add. So now it be 4 empty spots. They fill 3, it left 1. So it be the one way they won't fill right now. In terms of the division Premier League rather. So now they for find replacement give Ashgold, Liberty, Dwarfs, and Tamale City FC. Daniel, your thoughts? As I read the press statement, I say, this is a very interesting idea. All play all 3 matches. Yeah, everybody get fair chance of qualifying for that 1 spot. But a few days later, teams start protest. Dwarfs say, hey, why they want me to play some league? By the end of the day, Zone 2, they for qualify. They bring some long petition, say, President's Day. They promote some teams automatic. So make they promote them. If not, they go protest. Already they send people from Cape in 2 buses, can't they? The stadium say they go protest and things. I don't know. Your thoughts?
Let me say them protests, they make sense because of the precedents the GFA set in the past. That one day they make sense.
There are some long statements where they list
if you do
something
in the past where they make everybody see in similar situations where right now you come where they can't change things, it makes sense. But me, I look at things from the GFA point of view. We in isolation. We could watch some from the GFA point of view isolation. Me, I feel say for me they make sense. Why? We always talk about innovation. Say, for do things out of the box, try generate eyeballs, they translate into money and things. Well, I feel say this be opportunity where they sit down with them and say, okay, fine. It go be some way if they just get up talk say Ashgold come out from this zone inside, then they demote them. So somebody from that zone inside just for can sleeping. The fact be say the 3 teams where them all the GFA list in Liberty, Dwarfs, then Tamale Cities, them all play Division 1 league. Them all work them as socks off. It will be a bit for me. It be a bit unfair to the teams in the other zones. Say then just go replace one then can't talk say can play because we play ball. We sweat. We chop second. So if there's a way to make it fair for all the 3 teams where then did that position inside in the 3 different zones, more could do them. That be one in terms of fairness. Number 2, in terms of generating more eyeballs and then excitement towards the league, a playoff system where it go happen over I think it be over 2 weeks or 3 days places. You go play all. It they add extra excitement from a fan point of view. See what they happen for the English playoffs inside. Somebody go finish 3rd. It they playoff. Somebody finish 6th. It they playoff. But it be whole new small mini competition where you get your own sponsorship. It they generate your own something. Where it they bring a lot of excitement because people they look forward to that thing. Yes, this be one of. We know should they do that thing. But in terms of fairness and being fair to the 2 teams in the other 2 zones, you bring the 3 of them together. All play all sort of league format. More football, more ice, more TV coverage. Everything be settled. For me that be hard to see. Yes, you talk about precedents, but if there's a way to make things more exciting, why not? I feel say for me it be a bit too unfair just for somebody like Liberty and Tamale Cities. You Dwarfs, it not be by your doing where Ashgold go misbehave. It could have been anybody else. But the thing be say, we forget able replacement for Ashgold. And in able replacement, the spirit of fair play, all play all. We could level against one body. Then we move. Whoever will qualify, they end that spot. Then we can replace Ashgold.
Ashu.
So the draft's argument we say it be them then finish
Second
from bottom.
Yes.
The season before last season.
Yeah.
In fact, in the season where the offense by the season Ashgold go do yawa, that be then finish with 41 points, 16 plays. So then if you say the demotion for take effect from that season, not this season, right? So say them go get that automatic slot back into the Premier League. So they no one go play none of that. Wonders, them are statement. Teshima 11 wonders. Them two then release some statements this week. Now, the statement, and I will read you portions of the statement with the release. In fact, then they quote Article 7, Section 2, where they talk about, so at the end of the competition, the last 3 clubs on the league table shall be automatically demoted to Division 1 League. The champion club from each of the 3 zones in the Division 1 League shall automatically be promoted to replace the demoted clubs in the Premier League. Where the statement they go on to say, as a matter of fact, there is nowhere in the GFA statutes or regulations that states that when a club is punished and demoted, then there should be a different club from Division 1 to replace such a demoted club. There is also no provision that contradicts what we have in Article 7, subsection 2. And to the extent that the GFA ESCO must intervene, the provisions are so clear and unambiguous. But the supporting statements, excuse me, to the provision where them quotes be exactly the reason why the Executive Council take this decision.
Okay.
So what are they saying? Then they say Congress be clear on how teams be promoted and demoted.
Yes.
Sporting merit. The teams where they initiate.
If it they're the last 3,
the last
bottom
will come.
Good.
However, when our provisions no they provide when our regulations no get any portion where they talk about if some team go do your too much fixing, we demote them. We will find a way or where it is spell out how we choose the team will replace them.
Once you know that the law inside, we now for find innovative way
now
of settling that issue.
Issues relating to the Premier League and in fact all matters in football jurisdiction.
Yeah.
If the constitution or in the football constitution be the statutes and regulations.
Yeah.
If they lie within the remits or the purview of Congress Article 39, they make the Executive Council, or they give the Executive Council mandate to decide on those matters. So I will try read you the Article 39.
This is Article 39 of the GFA.
Yes, regulations. It says, the Executive Council shall have the following powers. Pass decisions on all cases that do not come within the sphere of the responsibility of Congress or are not reserved for other bodies by law and under these statutes. B. Prepare the assistance of the General Secretary and convene the ordinary and extraordinary Congress of GFA. So if the matter they require, or if the Constitution they talk say, the regulations they talk say, we for convene Congress, be it ordinary or extraordinary, or call on the powers of the General Secretary, the Executive Council be the body where then get the mandate to sit on that.
Where the mandates they get, the rule of the state, what they say make they find ways.
Yes. The C says appoint the chairman, vice chairman, and members of the standing committees, blah, blah, but that will be related to this. So technically, what the Executive Council do, it not be ultra-vires or unconstitutional. Then they play by the law. However, there is a small incident where happened, small in quotation marks, where happened last year. I don't know if you remember. Last year, 67 of the GFA members do a mini coup in Kumasi. They held their own Congress. Now, one of the things we then do at that Congress in Kumasi was to repeal and withdraw some of the powers that the current Executive Council has. In fact, one of the specific powers was this Article 39. Right? One of the specific powers we then do. So they had 67 members of the GFA who were there to make amendments to 10 articles. 10 articles of the GFA. And one of these was Article 39.
Okay.
Now, what does it mean? Generally, the GFA per the regulations, if you get a number significant enough to form a quorum, I think it'd be 1/3 or is it 2/3, but 63, without doubt, is more than the quorum. If you are able to form a quorum as members of the Ghana Football Association, any decision where you go take, irrespective of where you go meet, you go feed the boys, Charlie. We say today there we get some beer and some aponchinam or some beef, whatever, irrespective of the occasion. But once you be members of the GFA, where you go fit form quorum, where you sit, whatever decisions where you take, it they hold.
But so that provision, the state, if some high-ranking official for them, because then it means say now at any point 63 clubs go tap some place and talk what they like.
So what happens then? So whatever them go decide on, what they give legitimacy to those decisions be say them for rights officially to the GFA General Secretary, inform them of the decisions we then take. Then the next line will be for the GFA's General Secretary to then write to all members and notify them this be the actions where these people go take. And the actions where they take, it be in consonance with the law. It be consistent. The law, they give them that power. And if they do these things, we for respect the decisions and see these decisions as the new law.
Okay.
Now, after this Congress, the last time I hear George Free for one brother any Bampo in show, we now ask George Free say after the Congress, then write to the GFA and now
maybe this 67 people they go meet, do them our own thing.
Make her take you back to the composition of that Congress. So we get a clear idea of the people who go there. Be just some boys in Shemu where go happen. No,
the big boys.
The former vice president of the GFA, former presidential candidate, George Free would be Palmer.
Palmer did there.
Former general secretary, that's he did there. You get former disciplinary committee chairman. Lawyer Ntofianko. Ntofianko was the Division 1 League Board chairman. Yeah. So big wigs. It be
but that
heavyweights.
Who were chaired the meeting?
That's
because the people you they talk
former
about,
general secretary. That's
be good. They talk say it be former. So probably as of the time they go hold that meeting,
he was still a member of the GFA. It is the only important thing that all the people where them form the quorum.
Members where they go tap and do them our own thing.
If we take your signature by your name, we run your ID, we know say, okay, Mr. Nathan Kwao, Nathan Ibihu, he be member of the GFA. We get document support that. We get clubs where they represent.
That be all.
Once there is no question about your identity and your association to the GFA, if you form the quorum where you the number up to the required number, and subsequent to that, and you see, they bring this up, make people understand, say, it don't be just any nobodies where go do that at Luther. No. Then change 10 of the regulations.
Okay.
One of those was 39. Now, after this, then write to the GFA, informing them, say, these be the decisions we then take. However, did the GFA write to the clubs to inform them that this is what has been done? No. After they come here, I call some lawyer friend where I ask them, say, so, per the regulations, does the GFA's inability to inform the clubs invalidate the Congress? They say no.
So which means say from what they talk, it means say whatever they go decide, it they bind or they hold.
It's only up to somebody to go enforce that, and this be test case. So anybody who was a member of that Congress and is interested in this matter, go fit take this matter on, take the matter to court or even the appeals committee or CAS or wherever. Then talk say this be what happened. And
wait. You say them for take decision one.
Yes.
After them take decision, them for write to the
GFA.
And notify them of the decisions we then take.
After the GFA receive that notification, them for communicate to the rest of the teams.
Yes.
Where GFA no communicate to the rest of the teams.
Yes.
So how?
But the GFA they receive the letter.
Yes.
So
where they get they say they
authority say they receive. And you see, the important thing is this: the GFA's failing to comply or
from
their inability to inform the
lawyer party they talk.
They invalidate what happened. No, and I think that the big mistake gets. In fact, the since Kurt become the GFA president in the administration.
But me, I feel it be
the biggest mistake they make was allowing that Congress to go ahead. Because everybody where in the matter in the anti-Kurt constituency
them all goes
there. Was there or facilitated that.
Okay,
Congress.
but you see that's why they busy. Then come meetings because then it means say really Ghana football at any time.
No, you see that
anybody go fit go up and just change it.
That's why. No, you see that why.
It's also why they require that you forget quorum.
At the back, you see, the point I want to make, for such gatherings, if you get some big wig, current active FA head, and head meaning anybody where they the management or executive council, if you get somebody like that where if they chair the meeting, I think say that they give more legitimacy to the
but
meeting.
They have Dasuberi.
As of the time they hold, then what be Dasuberi in status?
He was Kotoko administrative manager.
No,
and a member of the
what
GFA.
be in status?
Just a common member.
Exco or they know the exco.
No, he wasn't.
So this is what
Nathan, what we for understand be say the law is the law.
At the back, I just want to say how could
the law, they I don't know how to put this, but it doesn't the law is not selective.
No.
In determining who forms Congress. That's
why the point I want to make be say how they go sit down.
Yeah.
Where they craft some articles so say if we form quorum, we go fit take any decision. And if they bind on that be the point I want to make me say.
Yeah, and on basis of your points too, I really feel say, you see, it be three ways something.
Yeah.
You for take decision, bring to GFA, GFA to communicate. The communicating be the final thing.
No, it's not. The communication be mere formality. The main requirements be two. That the decision is taken by individuals who are recognized members of the GFA and form quorum. That's the first part. If you form the quorum and you make your decision, you then communicate to the GFA. That be the next leg of it. It ends there. Whether or not the GFA will decide, say, then go communicate, it not negates the exercise will happen.
I don't think it's a mere formality because.
No, but what really will be the significance of the communication to?
Because then you see that caveat they give GFA power. Where I feel say nobody in his right senses go bring in law like this. Where once they take decision, technically it is done.
It is what
so
is in the regulations.
It be three ways something. Just as you said, you do it, you bring it, you communicate.
Look,
once we don't communicate,
all that matters now.
Nothing.
Be somebody with an interest in, not necessarily in this case, but on the powers of the executive council. Because in the end, this is what it comes down to. That Congress sought to reduce or clip the wings of the executive council because they say that the council had arrogated onto itself powers previously they did not have. But that Congress or not, I feel that this situation is actually good for us. That because someone had to act. Congress or the executive council, it be somebody for act then make the decision. And time no day. We not go feel wedge then talk say on the Congress way that they go take no. Make we wedge, make them go Congress before it be there, then they go decide. And sometimes these things they drag. Right? So to take away the uncertainty and all of that, someone had to act. And right now, the decision be that we go play the tournament. As to whether or not dwarfs or 11 wonders be immaterial. Because it has to be. Look, the dwarfs matter perhaps carries the most substance in the sense that they were the team that got relegated. Right? They were the team that got relegated. Or the last team in the season where the offense was committed.
It doesn't have anything to do with it.
Right. But the counter argument to that issue also is that dwarfs are not exactly from the same zone as Ashgold. Ashgold they zone 3. Dwarfs they Ashgold they zone 1. Dwarfs they zone 2. And then Liberty they zone 3. So if anything at all, it be Techima and 11 wonders. They finished, I think, 16.
No, you see, actually.
But then, no, it's just something that they explain.
No,
say,
my point is, if we give validity to what then they do, so it's no day inside. Your relegation has nothing to do with somebody else's demotion. Once somebody else is demoted, it doesn't mean you should come back.
So
the rules are clear. If you finish between these places and these places, you are going down, irrespective of what happens. So make them just chalk it for some corner. They don't have to come back. They were relegated, fine. So if has them Kotoko chop demotion right now, it means the teams where them relegated, they don't go again. No, your demotion is not a substitute for relegation. It be two mutually exclusive things. So relegation, you go, you finish the goal, then we'll figure out a way to get these people back. Whether one day they lost inside. So for the dwarfs, them matter. If they no go play where they go sit them out, fine. But maybe they no can talk say they were relegated in that season. It has nothing to do with the demotion. It be two very different
but
things.
Somebody for do something about this matter of the Congress.
This Aluta
it go come back. It go come back. Then bite we. because they've taken decisions. And until that decision, it affects somebody's longevity or stay in any of the zones, or their ability to practice football business, conduct football business in the country, everybody go lie low. But it's just something that is waiting to happen, because until it bites somebody, we all just be quiet. Today, I mean, the composition of that Congress that day, it was heavy. They had Kotoko in representation. They had Dasoberi.
Well, look, see, at the back, but anyway, maybe we go have that conversation on another day on maybe the FA, them are laws and.
But it be the basis
some of these very funny.
It be the basis for somebody challenging the executive council today.
At the back.
It be the basis for, so that issue has to be clarified.
Okay.
It's both in the interest of the Kurt's administration and even the naysayers who, because look, all of this come around because somebody sent petition to the GFA. The GFA no mind them. Then send reminders. They no mind them. We then decide to, okay, if this is what you go do, then we go clip your wings. We go do Congress. In fact, on the day of that Congress, they invite the GFA. They invite the GFA, but then just decide not to show up.
You make we go through the messages. This one says, Charlie, the women's AFCON there, it is substandard, quality no day inside. Nelson from Navrongo. This one says, before open one eyes for the local Black Stars. That's cool from Cape Coast. So like, what be the final word? Will they like all play or, you know?
Yeah, they like the all
play or they will do.
But the Inter Allies one, what be the story? So that one to what? They for decide
another.
So another all play all today.
Yes.
Division 2.
Yeah.
Or division, that's Division 1.
What? Yeah, we then go play.
So they go find.
No, I mean, see the decision there, they make sense.
You like the
these petition things where then they bomb me. You shan't they relegate you finish, they can't say because they demote somebody and make them bring you back. Like you good that you go there this position inside. Go there the Division 1 day, then work your way back.
Oh yeah, I mean the playoff is the best way. It gives everybody the opportunity, make them. Besides, the law does not cater for this situation. People for understand say it be unique. Mm-hmm. There is no part of one of our regulations or the statutes that they talk about the case of match fixing and teams where them demote them and how to find a replacement for those teams. So this be like the best option where they create inconvenience for anybody. The only thing, let's just to finish, is that I go love say, make them talk say, the players where every team play the league, make we allow from last season, make them fall on those players to leave. Because a team like it was one drafts like this, I know that my squad be depleted. Mm-hmm. So before those players move on to go play wherever,
may they play,
give them that opportunity, because otherwise there is not enough time to go and build a new team to come play.
Okay. Daniel,
quick one. Make I just give you what this thing they sound like. The petition, what they sound like. Company inside, where we talk say at the end of every working year we go review. If you fall below this quarter inside, we sack you. Where we sack the 5 people, then they go. Where the year starts, somebody goes still where we sack him. Then the person where if the last to be sacked, you go talk say this person goes still, so bring me back. It makes sense. You shine, if you know shine, like you go relegation. You go relegation because you shine. Somebody go do something different with them. Be say the person shine. You go do something different where the rules catch and where they make you go. So you know what that thing have do plus you. What he get do plus you. Then they go right. Charlie, make them know this. He didn't bomb me.
Then go beat you.
Charlie.
The vex. They won't come play Premier League. Anyway.